Yo guys, what's going on? Zen here. Today I'm gonna show you guys my version of the horseshoe slash death jump cave. I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty good design on it, and yeah, I'm gonna show you guys that today. So first thing you're gonna want to do, figure out what the cave looks like. So this is the only horseshoe cave entrance. It's a one entrance cave. It's always gonna be the biggest gap for a one entrance cave. There's two one entrance caves in the game, and yeah. This is the one you're going to want to look for. If you don't know how to look for caves, you're going to want to go on playerus.io. It's like the easiest way to find caves. So go on there, punch in your server, figure out where your caves are, and then find this cave. So before you start building in your cave, just a few things you might want to know if you're not a proficient cave builder like I am there. Garage doors, make sure you always know where your code lock's going. If the fat side is in towards you, the code lock will be on the right. So you always want to make sure you're not sticking your code lock in the cave, because you'll just lose it and then, yeah, not be able to shut your door, or lock it. Make sure you always know which side the code lock is on, though. That's like #1 thing. Alright guys, so next, you're going to come to your first plot in your cave. This is going to be your left plot, not your right plot. This is going to be your airlock cave / starter cave. This is where you're going to basically be farming out of until you have everything to build your cave properly. So you're going to want to get your placement perfect on that very first triangle. Do not mess it up. Just pause the video, check the placement, try to make yours as perfect as you can on nearly the same at least. But yeah, just fill up your cave full of triangles, and then you could always change up the back of the cave. This is just the way I do it. But so once all your foundations are done, you guys are going to want to get your TC down in the back corner here, and get your door down, get your key lock down, whatever you have at the time. Get some furnaces down, get stuff cooking. The back isn't really important how it looks like. You just want to get your first like 5 doors on as quick as you can, most likely. Get the other side of the cave sealed up. That's your like #1 priorities. So you're gonna want to get down a few walls in the front of your cave. You don't need a lot here right at the very start, but I'm just going to be putting all of it for the sake of the video, just showing the entire build, not how to do it in stages really, but you don't need to do everything at once. Upgrade it to armored. You can do your stone, your sheet, just as you progress, make it stronger. But in the end, if you want it to be as strong as you can, you're going to want to use armored. I know a lot of people have trouble getting like high qual, but I mean, if you're proficient duo, you can even run this base. I've ran this base duo plenty times the shots. It's just a good base in general. We've never got even attempt rated in it. So I mean, if you're trying not to get raided, I've ran this base with groups before, like 7 people plus, and it just rarely gets touched, no matter what. So I mean, living in a cave, that's gonna be like your #1 thing. You're probably not gonna get touched. If you're having a problem getting raided, the upkeep's not horrible. There's 3 different sides of the cave that you need to upkeep, but like I said, if you're like a duo to like 8-man team, you could easily run this. So this is where your TC is going to go. You're going to want to put this down way at the start when you're building the cave. Well, everything's still twig. But yeah, just make sure you have your TC down. That's going to be your spot for it. And basically, there's going to be all the honeycomb going now. So I'm just going to speed through this. If you guys need to see it, just cut the video speed in half or whatever. But yeah, this is just going to be honeycombing this cave. Alright, so this is going to be your loot room for this cave. Once you have that whole top piece done, you'll just be here. I mean, if you're starting out in this cave like I do, you're probably going to have way more boxes just everywhere in here, and the back's going to be more open, but do as you will. This is just my example of the loot room. So you're going to want to get your doors down obviously way earlier. This is just the video, so I'm doing everything all at once. But I'm calculating the base's durability with garage doors. Usually we have a shitload of armored doors in here, armored double doors. So, I mean, the base is going to even be more strong once you have armored doors to get to TC. You guys need to remember, this is just the airlock cave. This isn't even your main base. This is your starter. This is like what they have to go through just to get to your main cave. So yeah, once you get all these doors down, yeah, it's a lot of gears. If you guys are running oil rig, doing runs, you're productive, you can get this all done pretty easily in my opinion. Are you going to be done building this base in one day? If you're a bigger group, probably could, but as we do it on duo or trio, however we do it, it usually takes a few days to get everything like 100% done, so don't worry. But I mean, it's a super strong base even if you're just living in this starter cave, so don't worry about that. Alright guys, so this is going to be your second cave. You're going to want to get your placement 100% the same as mine. Like, down to the pixel. So the way you're going to line it up is using the rocks and all like the little designs on the rock. So if you need to, pause where mine is. Make sure you guys' placements like 98% is good. And yeah, there's like very little room for error here if you want to get both turrets and have as close to the front as you can. So make sure you guys get your placement perfect here, okay? So just upgrade this to stone at the very beginning. You can upgrade it to armored after. I recommend having it armored on day one. It's not a lot of high qual. But yeah, just make sure you guys have this blocked off immediately. Get your TC behind it. Yeah. So just follow along. This is basically going to be 100% honeycomb in this cave except your TC. Could you store loot in here? 100% you could, because are people going to go through your airlock fucking honeycomb cave? Probably not. So yeah, if I were you, you can store loot here, you can do whatever you want, but just follow along with all this. And yeah, you don't need to have this all done. I would recommend having like 2 layers of armored and then call it at that for the start until you're like super loaded raiding, and like then you fully finish it. But that's just me, and yeah, just do it your way at your pace. So at this point, I recommend just doing all this in twig. It doesn't need to be sheeted up right away, but have like at least 2 layers of honeycomb on the turret side before you get off. You're gonna want this top stuff. You could do it stone, but if they end up blowing up, then yeah, you're kind of screwed if they're through that, because it'll be all stone 10 times cheaper. So yeah, I recommend twigging everything though. Get your TC down. It doesn't need to be fully done day one. This is all end tier stuff that I'm doing here, so this is what it's going to be in the end. You could do stone at the start, but then yeah, I'd upgrade it as you go. So at this point, you do not need all these garage doors down here. This is 100% endgame stuff, guys. I would just recommend having a few layers of honeycomb on your turret side, just 1 or 2 high qual, then 1 sheet maybe, until you're done your main cave. Your main cave is going to be more priority. Your airlock cave is going to be your starter, so you're going to want to upgrade that as you're going. But definitely make sure your main cave has more doors than this cave at the start. Alright guys, so this is going to be your main cave. This is in the pocket where you're going to put TC. You need to make sure this placement is 100% perfect, the exact as mine, or it just will not fit. It might be similar, but you're not going to be able to fit all the triangles and all the squares perfectly. So make sure you have it exactly as mine. If you need to, go back, pause, slow it down. Just make sure you line it up completely perfect with that back rock there at the exact level mine is. So basically this is just going to be all filled out twig at the start. Upgrade this, you want to make sure everything's sheet and armored at least. I mean, the stuff I do add stone is the least important, and yeah, you don't need to worry about that much, but just make sure you guys have everything the same as mine. If you need to slow down the video, slow down the video, but yeah, just make sure placement is as perfect as you can get it. So at this point, if you wanted to adapt the base design, make it your own, you could put an oil refinery back here. For this exact design, I've ran it before back here, but yeah, if you want, you could have a refinery back here, and it'd save you a lot of time from having to put a base up top and have one in there. But yeah, in this design, I do not use it, but if you want to adapt your own design, add it, go ahead. So before you put your TC down, you're going to want to make sure you have your foundation there armored. Put a code lock on your TC. There's going to be an unlootable TC. They're going to have to blow through armored if they want to get it, or pick it with like a fuckload of jackhammers. So make sure you have that bottom bit armored. Armor the rest as you get more high qual. But everyone that's going to be living in your base, make sure they're on TC before you close it up, because you do need a code lock if you want it to be completely unlootable like this design. Guys, so at this point, I'm just going to fast forward it all. Just slow the video down if you need to. Go back, whatever. It's just a lot of honeycombing, a lot of building. If I let it go, it'd be like a 40-minute video if I didn't speed things up. So if you need to, slow it down, go back. It'll be all good. Alright guys, so when you get to this part, this is going to be your unlootable loot boxes in your cave, in your very back far vault. Make sure you have these boxes code locked, and yeah, just make sure everyone on your team or whoever you're playing with has the codes before you block them up, because they will not be able to get them later on. Make sure you guys have these triangles above the loot rooms. If not, they're going to be lootable super easy, and this design rarely even works then. So you're going to want to have 2 campfires. I recommend like breaking them before you get off, 'cause it does make them easier to loot even if people are raiding you. So this is just for you while you're on. I always end up breaking them. Makes it 100 times easier to loot them though. So make sure you guys have this properly set up. Alright guys, we're going to be speeding through this next bit of the base. I understand it's a really long build video, but I don't want to miss any of the details for you guys, so just make sure you guys are just like going back, making sure you have all the placements right. You could completely change up the entire cave if you wanted to and just stick off the basic footprint. You could have more loot rooms, you could do whatever you like really. It can be really well adapted into any kind of base if you guys want. If you need more storage, make more storage. If you want it more secure, I'm not sure how, but yeah, just you guys can, it's open to changing. This is just a basic idea of the cave. So could you make this cave different? 100%. But in my opinion, this is my favorite version of it, and this is what I'll be rocking every time I take this cave. There's so much you could change just to your liking, what your needs are, everything. So I mean, just take it with a grain of salt. You could do whatever you want in this cave, really, but it's just a simple layout. It's going to be 84 rockets directly to TC if they know the 100% route, and if you only use garage doors. So if you have armored doors, you can buff that up even more, but just straight through garage doors, 84 rockets, that's only directly to TC. If you want to go to all the loot rooms, it's going to be over 150 rockets. So should you run this base? I don't know. I run this base as duo. I've ran it up to like 8 people. It's a good cave in my opinion. Is it worth trying to find it? I mean, if you have a problem with getting raided constantly, I think you should honestly give it a try. It's a lot of work to get it up. I'll put all the upkeep on the screen right now. I don't have all the numbers on how much it exactly costs to make. I probably should have got that info, and I'll be sure to put it in the next building video on like all the costs. But I mean, it's not cheap. It's not like extremely expensive. Each cave's upkeep is not bad at all. You can load the TCs up with days of upkeep and not even have to worry about it. So I mean, overall it's a good cave. I'm just gonna let the rest of this just like little b-roll run. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. Should I make more building videos? I am live on Twitch every single day if you guys want to drop me a follow there. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought, what you would have changed, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.
Good. No. I don't know. Doesn't sound fun.
Ooh, flame arrows. Yeah, I might head to zero down.
That's gross.
Oh, what armor guy behind you or someone?